We keep on saying we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
What makes him so good in your opinion, Mike? Why does he beat everybody in your opinion?
His attitude. You know, he was a little heavy, fat kid and stuff like that, and he wanted to prove himself to the world.
Come down to, because I don't think Morrell's gonna be able to match Benavidez' volume. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, he's punching.
The terrifyingly skilled David Benavidez is lauded for his relentless pressure, power, and ability to dismantle opponents. Teddy Atlas describes Benavidez as a relentless force, likening him to a buzz saw that never stops advancing. He emphasizes Benavidez's calculated approach, setting traps and varying his attacks with precision. Atlas highlights his punishing body shots, which wear down opponents over time.
The truth. I think his skill set is underrated. It's rare that a dude that applies that kind of pressure at that size has that level of hand speed.
In the sport, I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think.
Leaving them vulnerable. According to Atlas, Benavidez combines high volume with tactical intelligence, suffocating his opponents and making escape nearly impossible once they're in his grasp. David Benavidez prides himself on precision, declaring, "I'm the most accurate puncher in boxing." His confidence comes from years of perfecting his craft, allowing him to land clean, impactful punches. This dedication has solidified Benavidez as a dominant force in the sport, known for his unmatched accuracy in the ring.
A lot less fights, professional. He's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez has, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important, but also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba, how, you know, you come from that island that from the beginning when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ. You know, part of it is to escape the communist country, to get to a better life, to get to where you can pursue dreams, to get over here where you can become a world champion. And that is all there. But Benavidez comes from those bloodlines too, where it's all about with him and his father, you know, and his family. It's all about being a champion, staying a champion, being proud.
David Benavidez says his rivalry with David Morrell is personal, not just drama. "I want to beat him up for sure," he states, blaming Morrell's trash talk. "He's been running his mouth, and I won't let it slide. I'm ready to prove I'm the better fighter in the ring." Experts overwhelmingly favor David Benavidez in a potential clash against David Morrell. They highlight Benavidez's relentless pressure, high-volume punching, and ability to break opponents down with his size, power, and stamina.
That beating, how does it look? How have you mentally pictured the fight?
I see myself systematically breaking them down. I think I'm just going to overwhelm them with punches. My punches and bunches, it's unlike anybody else in the sport. I'm the #2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense and on that. So what I've noticed from my previous fights, when I fight great fighters, when I get in there and they don't have success like they had with other fighters, they get a certain look in their eye like, oh shit, like this guy is really good. And I'm expecting the same thing here. But if I do get put in a position where it's a good competitive fight, I'm ready to go to war. This is what I'm here for. You know, nothing is guaranteed. There's no easy fights here. Nothing is guaranteed. But I'm ready to put my heart and soul in the ring, and I'm ready to put it all in the ring and beat David Morrell, whatever it may take.
Morrell, it comes from the Cuban school. A lot of people say like, hey man, this guy is so technically good. This is a difficult style matchup. Like, what do you make of?
Morrell, while talented with strong fundamentals, has yet to face elite competition. Benavidez's experience and skill in dictating the pace of a fight make him a tough challenge for any opponent. Many believe his aggressive style and endurance will prove too much for Morrell to handle. As a result, predictions heavily lean toward Benavidez, securing a dominant victory, solidifying his position as one of boxing's most formidable fighters.
It usually comes associated with fights where guys look like they might dislike each other, but ultimately in the end, it's just about the professionalism and it's about marketing the fight. You guys seem to have a disdain for one another. How real is that? And if so, why?
Yeah, this is 100% real. And like I said, I want to go in there and break his face. And that's exactly what I intend on doing. David Morrell, you know, he's been calling me out for the past 2 years. He's been talking a lot of trash. You know, so honestly, it doesn't take much for me to get me started. You know, him saying he's going to knock me out, this and that. You know, I want a good fight. I want him to be ready. I want him to back all his words up.
David Benavidez's ability to physically impose himself on his opponents, particularly those of similar size but with better technical skills, gives him a significant advantage in the ring. Known for his relentless pressure, high punch output, and incredible durability, Benavidez forces opponents to fight at his pace, often wearing them down over the rounds. His aggressive style ensures that opponents are constantly on the defensive, unable to settle into their rhythm. What sets Benavidez apart is his unique combination of talent, power, and boxing intelligence.
I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill-wise. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volcic, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just needs more time at 175.
Oh, got it, yeah. Well, the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid, and he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday. And you know, and then I run into him and he's a world champion. You know, that's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighters, not boxers. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires of boxing.
Some fighters may have sharper technical skills. Benavidez's ability to overwhelm and outwork them levels the playing field. His fast hands and unrelenting attack make it nearly impossible for opponents to find a way out once they are caught in his range. This makes him a dangerous matchup for any fighter, regardless of size or skill level. Benavidez doesn't just rely on brute force. He knows how to use his physical advantages effectively, combining skill, endurance, and sustained pressure to dominate opponents.
175, he's talking about it. So I'm going to shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view if we wait later. His name is not that big, but, you know, I don't...
They just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morrell-Benavidez fight gets the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight a tough guy.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in the ring with him. If you don't overpay him, you won't get him in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going in 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style, has a fan base in Minnesota. You know, that's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Has a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Christian and Billy. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10, I want to see them in with him.
Much like Tyson Fury's ability to control fights with his movement and ring IQ, Benavidez has mastered the art of forcing opponents to adapt to his pace. Ultimately, Benavidez's style is a perfect blend of aggression and intelligence, making him one of the most challenging fighters to face in boxing today. His ability to overpower opponents, no matter their skill set, solidifies his reputation as a dominant force in the sport.
Benavidez really doesn't need to be taking that fight, but he is. So listen, big respect to David Benavidez. That's a great fight, and we want to see great fights. I hope there's more fighters like David Benavidez that said, no, I'll back myself. I don't give a fuck about Morrell. I know everyone rates him and he's this Cuban killer. I'll beat him. Get me in with him. Fair play. Well done, David Benavidez.
Great fight as well. Really, really good fight. It's great to see this, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flying at the minute, but I really, really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him, that one for me.
I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better. I'm more experienced. You know, now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight or no fighter. You know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
Do you think like you break them down like later in the rounds? Like, do you catch them early and break them down early, like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna just put a game plan together and I'm gonna just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's gonna come early. I don't know if it's gonna come late, but I will be trying to knock them out. You know, that's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's gonna be the same thing.
Given